Welcome to Round the World Women. My name is Patchanee Malikhao, host of this program. My guest today is Daniela Cazacu from Moldova. I would like to introduce you to her. Hi, Daniela.
Hello, Pat.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. When did you join Round the World Women?
I joined Round the World Women in January, so I'm a brand new member.
Oh, welcome to the club.
Yeah, thank you. I'm very happy to be part of this big organization.
Sure. When did you come to the US?
In 2006, I came to do my master's in teaching English as a second language.
Where?
In Vermont at SIT Graduate Institute. Now it's called, it used to be called SIT School for International Training when I was there.
What did you do in Moldova? Did you teach?
Yes, I was an English teacher at the university, so I was teaching students who were going to become English teachers.
And here you also teach, right?
Yes.
Or you taught at the Center for New Americans.
Yeah,
as soon
as I graduated, I started working at the Center for New Americans. So I worked there for 4 years and a half. So I taught immigrants and refugees from Amherst and the area.
And how was it? Did you like it?
Oh yes, I loved it. It was very different from my English teaching in Moldova. In Moldova, I had young people the same age, the same language, the same culture, and here, wow, it's like I had the United Nations in my classroom. So 35 countries, different languages, different backgrounds, different ages. It was very interesting and very challenging as well.
Must have been a tough job.
Yes, but it was very rewarding. I was very happy.
I see. Let's talk about your culture shock. You must have had some culture shocks when you arrived in the US. Tell me about that.
I'm still in culture shock, even
still?
if still, yes, I don't know when it's going to end, but every day I'm shocked by something new. So, but the biggest culture shock was when I came I expected all Americans to be very rich, because when I was in Moldova, I watched this show, Dallas. Do you know this?
Yes.
The TV show. So I thought that all Americans would be like this, you know, with a ranch and horses and lots of money. And when I came here, suddenly I discovered that there are poor people here as well. And that was very different from what I thought America would be like in Moldova.
I think only 1% of Americans are rich.
1%?
Yeah, I have a sticker 99%. I belong to the 99% at the back of my car. So don't trust the TV. I mean, that's fictitious, that's not real.
Right, but that's what the info we get in Moldova.
I see. So let's talk about Moldova a little bit. It's a very new country in Eastern Europe, right?
Yes, it's in Eastern Europe between Romania and Ukraine. It's a very small country.
It belonged to the Soviet Union in the past?
Yes.
How did how it is split from the Soviet Union then? Or?
Yes, it split in 1991.
1991,
yes.
Still a very, very young country.
Yes, that's why many people have not heard of Moldova yet.
Tell me a bit about the population and the language of Moldova.
The population is 3.5 million, and the capital city is 700,000 people live in the capital city, a big chunk of the population. And the language is, the national language is Romanian. And
how large is the country?
It's very small. It's very small. Yes, I can't compare to Maryland, maybe Maryland.
Maryland, oh, I see. You can get a bit of picture. So it's a closed, I read it from an internet that it's a closed country, has no access to the sea.
Right.
So what are your neighbors?
If we go to the beach, we go to Romania, Ukraine, or fly to Turkey, or fly to Bulgaria. It's more expensive there. It's cheaper to go to Ukraine or Romania, but more expensive
And
other countries.
Who are neighboring you? I mean, which countries?
So Romania, the country is between Romania and Ukraine. So these are our neighbors.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Only two neighbors.
Yes. So it's very cool. It's not very far to go to Ukraine to the beach. It's about 5 hours of driving.
And people speak English other than your Romanian or Russian language, or you have your own language, right? You have your own language, right? Moldovan, or what you call it?
The language is actually Romanian. So
okay,
people
you call
are
it
Moldovan.
Romanian.
We call it Romanian. Yes.
Is it a bit of a dialect, different a bit from the standard Romanians?
Yes, a bit. That's why many people call it Moldovan, but it's not a real name. So our language is the same as in Romania as Romanian. It just has a little bit of a dialect, different from Romanian.
Different pronunciation.
Different pronunciation,
like,
right. But it's the same language because people understand each other from Romania and Moldova.
Mm-hmm. Could you please compare lives here in the U.S. and that in Moldova?
Oh, yes.
Okay. I would like to know more about Moldova, of course. How about food? What do people eat there? I mean, the main staple in Moldova.
The main staple, I would say, is corn. So we have this national food called mamaliga. It's like Italian polenta, but we eat it hot. And it doesn't have spices, just corn and corn flour and water and a little bit of salt.
You eat a lot of cabbages?
Yes, cabbage and fruits, lots of fruits and vegetables, because fruits and vegetables are much cheaper than meat. So we eat a lot of fruits and vegetables.
Is it the case in Eastern Europe that meat is more expensive than vegetables?
Yes, it's much more expensive. Yes, so it's always, for my family, for example, it's always a treat to have meat on the table.
So normally people farm themselves, or people grow their own veggies?
Yes, or they buy, yes, we have a lot of farmers, and the food is very fresh, and vegetables and fruits fruit is much sweeter than here. So strawberries and peaches are much sweeter.
Because you wait until it's ripened.
Right. Because it doesn't travel like it does here from California. It doesn't travel as far. So it's very fresh
and full of vitamins.
Yes.
Yeah. And how about fast food? Do you have that? Do you have McDonald's too? Or?
Yes, sure. We have McDonald's right in downtown.
Oh.
So people love McDonald's because that's what America eats. So this must be good. So people go there for their special day to go to McDonald's and take their children and pay a lot of money because they think it's the best food because America eats it. So it must be really good. Because, for example, one of the friends, I came to their house and the boy had his birthday, and the boy said, "No, I'm not going to eat any of the Moldovan food. Let's go out for pizza or let's go to McDonald's," he said. So can you imagine, we left the fridge full of yummy, fresh, delicious Moldovan food. And we went out to McDonald's.
And you know that people here in Amherst, they don't want McDonald's in town, so there's no McDonald's, only I think Starbucks. Yeah,
yes,
here.
Right. Yeah, that's well, that's nice. That's nice.
Okay, so must be the influence from television. So can you talk a bit about the TVs there in Moldova? You have kind of system like here?
Well, we don't have as many channels like here, and we can record the way my TiVo box, for example, works here. I can record a show and watch it later. In Moldova, I can't do that. I have to watch the show when it's on, and that's it. Yes, so because I think because of globalization and because of the media, yes, we eat, we want the things that are advertised, of course.
Totally. And how about internet? The internet and phones and you know, all the iPhones and so on. Do you have that too?
Yes, we do. We used to have internet cafes where, for example, when I was there, I would go to an internet cafe because I didn't have a computer at home. Well, now a lot of people have computers at home, so we have just a few internet cafes still where you can check your email or do other things. But mostly people have all the gadgets that are new, they have them in Moldova as well.
And how about the status of women in Moldova? Do they work after they get married?
Women work, but the nice thing is when they have a baby, they have the option of staying at home for 3 years. And the government pays the mom every month with an allowance. The job is still there, so she can go back to that job if she wants to. Because here, when I had my baby, I only had 12 weeks that I could stay at home, but after that my boss called and said, well, would you like to go back or you're not going to have the job anymore? So it was difficult for me to go back when my son was only 3 months old.
So the daycare system in Moldova must be very good.
Yes, many moms decide to stay at home until age when the child turns 3. So, and after that they go back to work.
The position is reserved
yes,
for them.
Yes, right. And when
that's
they
wonderful.
and when they go back to work, the children can go to kindergarten for 12 hours a day, and they will feed him, the child there, and they will so they will take care of him for 12 hours a day if the parent wants to, and all of that is free.
That's
great.
So
that's great.
So what is your compulsory education then?
So compulsory education is until age 16. So after that, it's up to the young man or woman to finish high school or get or go to a professional school and get some kind of training just to work.
So how many universities or colleges are there in Moldova?
Well, I'm not sure the number, but we have the same. We have many universities and colleges, private as well.
And what do people do when they finish their bachelor's degree? Do they go abroad or they study further in their own country?
Sadly enough, a big percentage of the young people right now are leaving the country. So this is our biggest problem, that the workforce is leaving the country.
Leaving for where? I mean,
leaving usually to countries in Europe. So
you mean Western Europe? Western Europe?
They go to Italy. Yes.
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 To look for jobs.
Yes. Right. Look for jobs and with families, and sometimes the young people, for example, will not come back. So 1 million Moldovans live.
Each year?
No, from the population, because not a long time ago we used to have a little bit more than 4 million people,
and now 4 million.
And now with a million people
immigrated out.
Immigrate out, right? So that's the unofficial data. The official data is a little bit less than that.
Oh, so what caused that? I mean, why people have to leave this many?
The biggest reason is poverty. It's very hard to make ends meet in Moldova, so they are looking for a better life.
So, so Moldova is the poorest country in Europe. In Europe?
Yes, we have at least 100,000 children with no parents in the country. So the parents are working abroad and sending money home.
Oh, so, and how about how many people who live under the poverty line? Do you know that?
It's a big percentage. I don't know exactly the number, but it's a big percentage, yes.
Oh, so I heard that the rate of alcohol consumption per capita is the highest in the world in Moldova. It's due to poverty, that people have the stress.
Yes, depression. So the alcoholism is a big problem in Moldova. It causes lots of problems, including domestic violence in families, and lots of other problems.
You have high rates of domestic violence?
Yes, yes. And women are not protected. So if you call the police, if a woman is aggressed by her husband and calls the police will not necessarily come because they don't think that this is an issue. So.
Oh, so you don't have a shelter for the women like here?
Like here, right. Like in Amherst, there are shelters for victims of domestic violence. Not necessarily women, could be men as well, but in Moldova we don't have protection for women. So that's very sad. And women,
it is.
And another big problem is human trafficking. We have a lot of a big number of women are being exported, yes, sold to other countries, yes,
to the neighboring countries.
Yes, yes.
Oh, and eventually to Western Europe, probably.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
And well, how about child commercialization in Moldova? I mean, the letting kids wear clothes, you know, sexy clothes and kind of stuff like here.
Well, children wear a lot of things that they see. So due to globalization, we have a lot of things like this. For example, this Hello Kitty. You know, this Hello Kitty children's clothes and everything. So we have that too. So you can buy, but you can see this more here. Because you have, for example, my son is crazy about Elmo, so there is everything connected to Elmo, clothes and toys, and we don't have that as much in Moldova.
So you don't produce in your own country? Well, what are your main products of export?
The biggest one is wine. So we have the biggest seller in the world, where you can drive underground where wine is kept. So you can, if you'd like to see how wine is kept, you can drive underground, and there are names of streets underground of names of wine. So, and you can taste fresh wine and old, like 17 years old. You can taste the difference.
So you export wine a lot?
Wine, yes, especially to Russia, our biggest importer. Yes.
Oh.
So, and the wine is pretty good. It's not. And it's very cheap. So.
And people drink a lot of wine, or people drink vodka like in Russia. Why do people? What do they get drunk on? I mean, on wine or on vodka?
Both. Right. But I think more wine, because lots of people have homemade wine. So they make their own wine at home. So they have lots of it. For example, yeah.
I see. Is it legal to distill your own?
Yes, it is legal. Yes.
Okay.
So, and children can buy. We don't, as far as I know, we don't need an ID to buy wine, alcohol like you do here. So that's.
And at what age do people start to drink? I mean, young or?
We don't have a legal age. So depending on the education in the family, just children start drinking just whenever the parents allow.
Oh, yeah, because I know I lived in Europe for quite a while, and I know that children in Europe, they started to drink along with the parents, like at the age of 10 or something, started to sip wine.
Yes, that's what you will see in Moldova as well.
As well.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So let's talk about your library system then. You have a good library for kids in school or in a small town or a public library somewhere?
They're not as nice as Jones Library is in Amherst, because you will not see lots of people. Just only children go to the library to just find a book to read, but it's not a very welcoming place because it doesn't have the technology, it doesn't have the financial support to exist. So, and you have to, there are no computers, or maybe there are few computers in the library, so if you are looking for a book, you have to stand in line, you have to wait, and then they will tell you that, sorry, they don't have that book.
Also, you lack some resources.
Yeah, so the big one, for example, in town.
How is teaching environment in Moldova? I mean, is it one-way communication or two ways of communication?
It's mostly one way, and it's very different because again, because of lack of resources. So classrooms are not equipped with computers, with overhead projectors. They're just they only have one old board with a piece of chalk.
You said in general,
and a duster.
In general.
Just most like
most
without,
likely.
yeah, most. With of course, in private institutions, maybe there are a few better, but for example, in a big school like in the academy, I know they have only one overhead projector for the whole school for maybe 12,000 students.
Oh, okay. Now I know a bit about Moldova. Would you like to add anything to it?
So I'd like to invite people to come to visit
Sure.
if they would like to try some good wine.
Underground wine.
Yes,
yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you, Daniela, and thank you for your interest.